Hello, hello, hello. 2022 was a pretty decent year, alright? And that reflects back in what mecha anime we were getting this year. Now, I'm going to be breaking this down today into 3 categories, and I'll even have some honorable mentions thrown in there. And this is going to be basically the best mecha of 2022. I'm going to have the beginner category, so if you're a newcomer to mecha, what I would recommend, the overall best, and personal recommendation. Let's start off with a few honorable mentions. So, cracking honorable mentions, we have AIM Warrior. Listen, there's a better way you call it. I call it ATM Warrior. Don't ask me why, but that just sort of happened while I was watching the sub. I just started calling it that, and I have way more enjoyment. Made by Sunrise. It's the 2nd season, so it is harder to get into, but altogether it's a total of 24 episodes, so not a bad deal whatsoever, and overall, pretty good time. Next, Trapped in a Dating Sim. Main character, think of Kazuma, but even more evil and less just overall petty. So those two are honorable mentions, but this one I have to give its own section. Mobile Suit Gundam Kukuri's Dawn's Island. I love Mobile Suit Gundam, the original. I watched it. I loved it. It was great. Good. Yeah. Everyone got that? Good. If you haven't seen it though, this movie makes no sense whatsoever, and I don't honestly think you could enjoy it. Is there anything wrong with that? Oh, no. No, there's definitely not. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I wouldn't recommend it to most people because a lot of people haven't seen the original Mobile Suit Gundam. So, what can you really do? So, we're going to get into the beginners category after all those honorable mentions. The beginners category is Pacific Rim the Black Season 2. Now, that came out this year. It's not technically mecha, but I mean, it's close enough. It has 7 episodes in the first season, 7 episodes in the second season, totaling to a solid 14 episodes overall. Not a bad total. It's not very anime. So, for beginners, especially beginning into mech, because I know mech has this intimidating history behind it, like, oh my goodness, in order to watch mecha, you need to look back and see Mazinger Z and get a robot, and it's like, no, this is a good beginning anime, just not the best. Second, I would recommend it, but I don't think it's going to get a second viewing. If you guys would like me to break down any of the anime that I talk about today, make sure to comment about them, and I'll make sure to post a video about any select anime that you guys really want. Everyone happy with that? Okay, good. Next, what is the what is the objectively, and while I'm obviously saying objectively best, it's not, you guys know it's not, but just the one that I think has the best overall quality, and that is Muv-Luv Alternate Season 2. So, this is my favorite out of the bunch, and the one that I think is the best. It has crazy strong emotional beats, the story is very good and feels very grand. On top of that, the main character is a later staged in development, because believe it or not, Muv-Luv is actually a multimedia franchise, but Muv-Luv Season 1 is relatively easy to get into. So, thanks to that, we have the ability to jump into Season 1 and watch all the way through. Now, it is 24 episodes in total. Granted, that's not bad at all, but I know 24 episodes can be hard for some people. Granted, those are probably the same people who have seen Dragon Ball twice, but I digest. Just like you have to digest these bad opinions. Anyway, finally, we have basically the personal recommendation. This is the one that if you're going to get into mecha anime this year, or you're just curious about what is going on, I would recommend Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury. So, Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury is the newest installment in the Gundam series. And honestly, I'm very happy with how it turned out. The setting isn't the best, but I really do appreciate the character work that goes on. The main character is really adorable, and she's really fun to hang around. Now, I'm gonna spoil this a little bit. The 2D, they have 2D mechs, which is obviously an A+ and a really positive attribute that I like. But certain aspects of it, for example, the final episode, I really badly wanted to see, they had all the build-up of a good final fight, and then they cut it very, very, very short. Now, why did they do that? My guess is either because of budgetary restrictions or due to just limited time in the episode. Now, I find myself in multiple situations that are similar to that when watching the show. I found the school setting interesting, and I found the world building relatively interesting. However, the fact that we're still stuck in the damn school is a little disheartening. Now, why is this the one that I would recommend the most? Well, that's because A, it's Gundam, so it is attached to a big franchise, so you may have heard of it before. B, it's not part of the Universal Century. You don't need to know anything. Like, you literally don't need to know anything to get into it. So that takes care of two different options right now. Plus, 2D mechs, which is just naturally easier to get into. I know CGI is becoming more and more prominent thanks to shows like Chainsaw Man and Mappa in general, but that is also Mappa, so you know, they're just they're off doing their own thing. And by own thing I mean having baggy-eyed animators. Anyway, so that is my personal recommendation from this year. But if you guys disagree, I would actually like to know your opinions down below. So make sure to comment, and as I stated before, if you guys want any personal reviews for any of the shows, any of the mecha anime that you have seen this year, then make sure to leave a comment down there. I look forward to seeing what your response is to mecha. After all, I don't cover this topic as frequently as maybe some would like. However, it is hard to judge. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.